Oh yeah, that's good for my throat. Traveling Eddie here, and just waiting for somebody to come near and dear, or a whole lot of somebodies. But right now it's just me, myself, and I. De La Soul style. Just me, myself, and I. All right. So somebody's already on. I think I see one person's already connecting to the chat, to the live stream, and then gone. Gone like the wind, in and out. Lasted a few seconds. We're just into the live stream under a minute 40, second 49, 52, 53. So wait for some people, whoever is on, please just put a thumbs up in the chat box or a hello, just so I know that somebody's here so I can start talking when the time comes. Hey, what's up, buddy? Mr. Brazil, Pelé, el jugador de fútbol, the football player. How's honey? How are you? How's everything going? Well, it's getting a little warm, but I got to drink some um, tea that I made, masala tea, but with no milk, just because my voice has been coming and going this week since Monday, and I got to take care of it. Everyone from Florianopolis. Finn Del Mundo, what's up, buddy? ¿Qué más? How are you? Excellent. All of you doing great, loving life. Me too. My voice is in and out because this week it has been raining a lot here. No, just my voice. Just my voice. In and out because last weekend, on Saturday last weekend, a week ago, todo bien carnal, todo padrísimo carnal. Órale, güey, aquí, todo padrísimo, todo bien chingón, all chingón, all good. And last Saturday, back on February, what was it, 26th, a friend and I, that we've been friends for like 21 years, kind of like 21 questions, 50 Cent style. But he's a dude, he's a cool friend. We went mountain biking and in El Retiro, here in the state or in the department of Antioquia. They call them departments in Colombia, not states, not provinces, but departments, departamento. And it was a cold day. It was a cold day, but not raining. So then on Monday, I started feeling my throat. And then on Sunday, I went to the country house and where I used to live, where my doggies are, and it rained all afternoon. It was cold there. So I guess that's where my voice started coming in and out. But I'm good. Zero colds, zero flus, just my voice being out of whack, out of tune. So you guys know about Mexico, Finn? You're still in Mexico, and you, handsome B Wonder Boy, and whoever else comes on can ask questions later on, or share their experience in Mexico in terms of the travel costs. So in a few moments, I'll give a couple of people more because I did put up the notification um back like at 5:30 p.m. today, so a good 2 hours and 30 minutes heads up for anyone who wants to watch this, but not outside today. I'm here at my mom's place. 2 more weeks, Fin del Mundo. 2 more weeks in Mexico, and then Fin del Mundo goes back to Kiwi land because Fin del Mundo is a Kiwi. For those of you who are not familiar with what a kiwi means, in addition to the fruit, it's the country a little further away from the land down under. The land down under. And New Zealand, NZ. So Finn Del Mundo and I, we met in person back in Mexico City. We hung out for the afternoon, the morning, afternoon part. And we went to see some of the one of these ancient They call it the Grand Basement. It's not a pyramid, but it's something similar. And they also have a pyramid in that same area, belong to the people that another tribe or pueblo originario that was there. Back to Kiwi land. So 2 more weeks, man. You must be counting down the days because you've been telling me in our chats we've had through WhatsApp and on Instagram that you are looking forward to going back home and doing your next adventure. And I'm not saying what it is because it's a surprise that I hope you will share with the world through your channel because that's your channel name, that's your channel handle, Finn Del Mundo. Yeah, that was a great day, man. We had fun. And I even did a little live, not a little live, a little pre recorded video with Finn that aired this past January. It was like a two-parter because we were going to that place, but it happened to be closed and we didn't know because the information wasn't on the internet. It said it was open, but due to the pandemic and the, sanitary emergency sanitary restrictions, it was closed that day, but they opened up 3 days later. But we had fun. We did a lot of talking, and Finn and I, we had breakfast at a mall nearby there, nearby that place. I'd really recommend people go to that place, and it has this history about it, about some alien ties, alien extraterrestrial ties, about extraterrestrials having built that, visited that place, influenced that particular culture. And we had chilaquiles, yeah. We went to that shopping center, that mall, that medium sized, small to medium sized mall. We walked over there. It's right by that avenue. Uh, oh, what's the name of that long avenue, Finn? Oh, I forgot. I lived in Mexico for 2.5 months, like Che Guevara, Ernesto Guevara, the former revolutionary from Argentina, the doctor turned revolutionary. Motorcycle Diaries. Check that movie out. Motorcycle Diaries. El Che Guevara. He was a middle class person, him and his family, studied medicine, graduated, went on a motorcycle tour with his best friend through South America, came all the way up to Colombia and Venezuela. From what I understand, he saw a lot of the uh, poverty, extreme poverty, and the abuse by the governments of those days in Bolivia and Chile, Peru, whatever, of the native people, the pueblos originarios, and he decided to forget about medicine and whatever and dedicate his life to standing up for the small guys, the small girls and guys, the poor, so they wouldn't be, you know, robbed and whatever. So I'm drinking ginger. Hey, Karina. What's up, Karina? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás, Karina? Hey, everybody. Karina's in the house. Nice. I'm drinking ginger. It's ginger with cardamom, cloves, star anise, and some lemon called Colombian lemon called mandarino, limon mandarino. It's a mix of, it's a hybrid between a tangerine and a lemon. They call it limon mandarino. And then we use this and some brown sugar loaf. And I'm doing this for my throat because I got to work. I got to make money as an English language teacher. I've been a teacher for 23 years. I forgot the name of that avenue. It's a very famous avenue that goes all the way from North Mexico City all the way to South Mexico City, passes through the Universidad Autónoma de México, UAM, el, el UNAM, Universidad Nacional, UNAM, 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 Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México. I forgot the name of the avenue. Insurgentes Avenue. Insurgents. So, hello, everybody, again. My voice is cutting in and out, so please bear with me. And the movie is awesome. So, I didn't go out and do a live stream today. It's raining here in the valley of Aburra, the Aburra Valley. For those of you who are not familiar with Colombia, with the geography, the valley of Aburra or Aburra Valley is where you find the Medellin metropolitan area. And the Medellin metropolitan area consists of course, Medellin. Oh, good, you're having some ginger tea, but mine is ginger, cardamom, star anise, cloves, cinnamon sticks, limon mandarino, mandarin lemon or tangerine lemon, lemon tangerine. It's a hybrid, and some brown sugar to help me because tomorrow I'm going to the country house to be with my girls and my boys, my doggies. I always go on Sundays these days. That's my time away from all this craziness of the cities and the big towns and the big cities. And I'm not a city person. I don't like living in cities. But Mexico City was different. Yeah, thanks. It's just my throat. I there is no flu. There is no cold. I am free of those. Just the throat. And like I told you guys, I'm a teacher, an English language teacher, and I teach online. And if I can't teach, if I can't speak, I don't get paid. I get paid per hour, by the hour. So I didn't go out today. I wanted to go to do el mío está más delicioso. Mine is more delicious. Okay, cool. I just didn't add water, and I didn't add black pepper, ground black pepper. I didn't add milk, excuse me, milk nor ground black pepper, which would make it masala chai, Mumbai magic, like Finn calls it, Mumbai magic, because I had the best chai, masala chai, meaning spiced tea, when I was in Mumbai, India, 2019, in February. It was awesome. And thanks for the thumbs up, and thanks for joining. So that I'm a teacher, so that's it. I'm an English language teacher. So today's thing is about travel costs in Mexico versus travel costs in Colombia. I'm going to see if it is possible for me to share the screen here during this live stream, but I think I have no idea how to do that. Here, I was trying to see. This is the first or second or third time I do this, but I don't know how I can share my screen during a live stream, and I don't see any option for that. Nope, no option for that. So I'm going to look at prices. We're going to compare. So here's what's going down. I spent 6 months, almost 6 months, 5 months and 2 weeks in Mexico. It was beautiful. And most of the time I spent was in Mexico City because I saw that Mexico City had so much to be done there. Plus, I was working Monday through Friday as an English language teacher, as I am now. And I decided to stay. I paid for 3 months, but I only stayed 2.5. I couldn't hack the last 2 weeks. I wanted to leave 2 months into Mexico City during my stay there, but I stayed because of my shoestring budget. And it was a decision well made at that moment because I was out of been high and dry in Puerto Vallarta. So let's talk about this, guys. And you who have traveled to Mexico, Finn, please share details with us too, according to US dollars. I'm looking at per night. So let's start off. I arrived in Cancun, Mexico. Cancun, Mexico on June 14th, 2021. I stayed there for 6 days because I took 7 days off from work. I took a week off. I didn't work. That was my only real vacation all of 2021. I thought I was going to have more time, but it was only the only 6 days I didn't work for in all of 2021. And then, of course, December, because uh, I didn't work in December, but that's another story. I didn't really get to rest. So here's the thing per night, and I stayed 6 nights in Cancun, and I'm looking at my prices right now. I did the research today before doing this live stream so I could talk to you in US dollars, not Canadian dollars, not Australian dollars, not whatever dollars, but American dollars. $30 a night. $30? No, what was it? Excuse me. It was $26 a night. $26 a night in Cancun. And it was a nice, comfortable stay. I stayed there in not in the hotel zone, but it was like in the center of town somewhere in a nice, very nice neighborhood. And I had the public transport a block away, and I was in a very nice condo. And I had the room, my private room, of course, and there was a shared bathroom. And I shared it with this girl from Poland that was staying there for a few months in Cancun. And she loved staying there at this guy's place on Airbnb through Airbnb, and it was $26 a night. And I was telling you, the transportation was a block away. We had an OXXO. I had an OXXO right around the corner. It was a condo, and inside the condo, we had access through the living room, going into the living room, opening up the big uh, the sliding glass door, and there was a swimming pool if you wanted to swim, private inside the condominium, and these apartments, and it had a kiosk, what we called in Mexico palapa, or was it another word? A word? I forgot the other word in Mexico, in Mexican Spanish. So, Fin del Mundo, you try to find places that are between $18 to $22 per night. Please text what places you have stayed in Mexico that go for $18 to $22 per night. What cities, what towns in Mexico? Because this is good to share because you've been there. And handsome boy, Wonder Boy, you've stayed there too in Mexico. So tell us a little bit, if you can, about prices in Mexico. So I paid $26 a night in Cancun. I stayed there only 6 nights. And the public transportation in all of Mexico, generally, when you use the small, what they call colectivos or microbuses that carry up to 15 people in them, or sometimes a little more when they're well squashed in, like in Cancun during the heavy rush hour, people going to work or going back home from work. Yeah, it was a very nice. It was fantastic. And the guy had a beautiful dog, a little schnauzer. He was cool. I remember his name. I forgot the doggy's name. Beautiful guy, Rocky. Nice doggy, lovable. And I had AC in my room. AC, very important if you're staying in the Mayan Riviera, which is hot, especially in June, July, and August. Holy mackerel. In September, hot and sticky. You have no AC, as we do in Colombia. Bailas, parce. Está jodido. You're messed up. You're in deep trouble. We do like this in Colombia because I'm Colombian American. You're messed up. You're in for big trouble. And I had AC, and I used the AC all day when I was in the room and all night to sleep well. But I went out in the daytime. I went exploring. And the transportation was 50 cents because I think it cost 10 cent, 10 pesos for those kind of buses. But if you took the big buses, the ones that carry 40, 50 people, inside, inner city transportation, then it was like 7 or 8 Mexican pesos, which is under 50 cents. Remember, the Mexican exchange rate for US dollar, if a US dollar in Mexico right now gives you like 19 pesos, 19.30 pesos for a dollar. Sometimes it's 20 pesos for a dollar or 19 point something pesos for a dollar. That's the exchange rate. So Centro de Guadalajara, or Mexico City, in the Hipódromo neighborhood. In Mexico, guys, remember in Mexico, they don't say barrios, they say colonies. Like in India. In India, when I was in India, they talk about neighborhoods. They don't say neighborhood, they say colony. So they Nagar colony, Patel colony. When I was in India traveling in Delhi, Mumbai, in Bhubaneswar, in Varanasi, they talk about colonies. Colony means neighborhood. And in Mexico, they say the same word, colonia. Colonia means colony. And Hipódromo in Mexico City is one of the colonies that is nice. And that's right next to um, San Miguel de Chapultepec. San Miguel de Chapultepec, very nice neighborhood too. Right next to the big park, Chapultepec Park, and right near the financial district. Or you got Condesa and Roma Norte, Roma Sur. So Hipódromo is walking distance, 15, 10, 20 minutes max to these other colonias that are very hip for the hipsters. So Finn paid $20 a night in the Hipódromo area. and that was through Airbnb, right, Finn? And Centro Guadalajara, meaning downtown Guadalajara, the center, downtown area of Guadalajara, $16 per night. So let me go in the order of business that I was there, and please share your info with us. Look, Wonder Boy is telling us you'd hit the street and ask people if they knew of a place and always did great in the first place in Playa del Carmen. You got 70, you paid $75 for a week. There you go. And then you moved um, to what? To a place, 200 a month. Okay, $200 a month with AC. So the first one, I imagine that you paid $75 a week. But the first one, did you have AC in Playa del Carmen, Wonder Boy? Because in the second one, you paid $200 a month, and you got it with air conditioning. And then after 4 months, you met a friend, a Mexican dude, and you moved into his place, and you paid $150 per month, everything included, meaning electricity, gas, and internet. And you stayed there for 2 years. Wow, $150 a month. That's sweet. What did that include the internet, Wonder Boy? For the $150 a month there in Playa del Carmen? Okay, Finn always uses Airbnb. Okay, so the first place, Wonder Boy, Handsome B, Wonder Boy is saying the $75 for the week, the first place he found in Playa del Carmen did not have AC. And it was at Jerry's. Okay, yeah, the place I stayed at too. No AC. That was my monumental mistake. And Finn Del Mundo always uses Airbnb. All right, cool. And Finn Del Mundo said in Guanajuato, you had your own private bathroom and kitchen with incredible views of the over the valley in Guanajuato. Guanajuato is awesome. I remember you showed that video on your channel. Guys, check out Finn Del Mundo's channel of his adventures in Mexico. He's got a lot of good videos and walking videos where he's talking and some where he's not talking, showing Guanajuato City. There's Guanajuato, the state, and Guanajuato, the capital, where Finn stayed and I stayed as well, but not at the same time, different times. And he's been there like 3 times or more to Guanajuato City, the capital of Guanajuato state. And he paid, and it was a 5-minute walk from the city center, from the Centro Histórico. And you pay 16 bucks a night because you paid for a month. Okay, you stayed there for a month. So you got the discount. It came out to $16 a night. American dollars, guys. Remember that. Yeah, at Jerry's we met. Handsome boy, Mr. Wonder Boy. Now let me go to Playa del Carmen. That's the second place I stayed in Mexico. And we'll get to Colombia in the moment we compare. And we'll compare prices. Well, no. Let me look right now. Um, I can go to this other window right now. I'm looking at Airbnb right now. Let me look at prices for, let's say, Medellin, Colombia. Let's see what they tell us here on Airbnb for Medellin, Colombia. Let's see what they tell us. And I'm going to look at this based on 1 month stay because you get much cheaper prices. So I'm looking at in Laureles. Laureles is a very good neighborhood in Medellin. So for 28 days, and you got your own bathroom, your own bedroom, Wi-Fi, kitchen, and a laundry machine. Colombia, in the cities like Laurel, like Medellin and Vigado, most of the Airbnb uh, rentals should have, and I'm talking about most, this is true, most should have a washing machine. People here make it a point to buy a washing machine to make their lives super duper comfortable, not to be a headache and hand washing the little washboard, old style school where you throw water and you do it like that, like back in the old days, 100 years ago in the States, or still in places like Nepal or India, where most people are super dirt poor in many areas. So you get, in most of these cases, when it says lavadora, if it says it in Spanish, lavadora, not Dora the Explorer, lavadora, that means washing machine, and you have access to it. You don't have to pay extra. So I'm looking at 28 days in Laureles at somebody's apartment, staying with some family. You don't rent the entire apartment, you rent a room, and divided by 28 days, and then divided by the US dollar exchange rate right now in Colombia, comes out to $11 a night for 28 days. If you want to stay 28 days, 4 weeks in Medellin, in a nice neighborhood like Laureles. I have a video. I have several videos actually of Laureles, but the most recent one I put up was digital, what was it? Best cafes for digital nomads in Laureles. Best cafes. And Laureles is this neighborhood, and you're in walking distance of those digital nomad cafes that I visited. So you're looking at $11 to maybe $20 a night. But $11 if you pay for 4 weeks in advance if you want to stay a full month in Medellin. And I recommend to get a good taste of Medellin, how the life is in Medellin. Or if you want to stay in Antioquia, excuse me, in Envigado, where my mom lives and where I have lived for many years, but I'm only here now just because of my mom. I was living out in the countryside. Let me see, going back to this, let me see if it's just for a couple of nights. Let me change the search criteria here for just a couple of nights so that you guys can get a nice idea. Let's say if it was just for 5 nights, you're going to stay here. And let's see what. No, that's too many nights. Hold on. Trying to make it just like a week. And then with a week, they don't give a discount. It's usually when you have 28 days or more, guys, that you get a discount through Airbnb for most rentals. Now, here I'm seeing that in Laureles, it's a studio apartment, but you get like a one room. You don't get the whole, or maybe it is the whole apartment, the whole studio. But it's in Medellin and it's a nice area because it looks nice. I wish I could show you, but I don't know how to share this thing on the screen. So it's 86,000 pesos a night, but I'm converting this into dollars. So the 23rd, 24th, 7 nights divided by 7 nights, and then divided by 3,777, which is the current exchange in Colombia for $1 at this moment. Right now, you get 3,777,000 pesos. 3,777 pesos. 3,000 for $1, almost 4,000 pesos. But I'm trying to figure this out. And is that right? $3 a night? Hell no, that can't be right. No, I'm crazy. I did the math operation wrong. 86,000 pesos a night divided by 3,777, $22. So if you're not doing one of those long-term deals, then you're going to be ending up paying like $22 a night. But these are very nice areas, and the apartments are very nice, very modern, nice, comfortable furniture, nothing shabby, very nice. So you're paying $22 a night, 24, $25 a night in these places, and in some places, but that has got to be somewhere a different neighborhood. Let me see where this neighborhood is. Where could this neighborhood be? Because it looks really cheap. It could be one of those neighborhoods you don't want to be in. Miravilla, San Bernardo. Oh yeah, no, that area you don't want to be in that area, and that's crazy cheap. These areas would be more like $6 a night, $7 a night, but you don't want to be in that area. I'm looking at this place, Trinidad, San Bernardo neighborhoods, some part of Berlin that you don't want to be in, and you just got to make sure you know what neighborhood you're going to in Medellin or Envigado. Now let me look in Envigado and give you an idea about Envigado. So you're looking at from $11 if you look for 28 days, 4 weeks. But if you're only doing 7 or 8 or 10 days, then it's going to be like $15 or $20, $25 a night in Medellin. It depends. You got to know where you're going so you don't run into any headaches. I'm just looking at the Airbnb website right now, so give me a moment while I go back to the YouTube live stream thing. So Envigado, every neighborhood is pretty good in general. And yeah, you're looking at a good, about $20 a night too. If you're just doing 7 or 8 nights here, 20, $25 a night. In some cases, $18 a night. But these areas are very good in Envigado. They're all super safe and super good. Envigado for me is a much safer city or town. So I'm back. I was switching between the two things. I don't know. So Playa del Carmen, I paid $10 a night. I booked 5 weeks in Playa del Carmen. That's where Wonder Boy and I met. But the problem with that place was that I didn't verify if it had air conditioning. And Wonder Boy can attest to that. And even another guy, uh, Rob Mills Enigmatico on YouTube, the guy that you saw in some of my Mexico videos when I was in Mexico City with him, the British dude, the English dude, the Englishman. And we were there. We just could not had the hack the heat. We could not sleep at night. It was crazy. At night we could not sleep. There was no AC in the ceiling fan. That just didn't cut it. And the weather was so hot, and the water tanks are on the top of the roof. That yeah, it was $10 a night, but it was super hot in June and July, man. Finn, it was super hot. The temperature was like Celsius degrees was like 35, 37, 36 in the daytime, hot and sticky. Hot and sticky. Karina, thank you. Namaskar, namaste. Dhanyavad. Bahut, bahut, dhanyavad. Thank you very, very much. Bahut, bahut, dhanyavad. Much love and light to you, Karina. Thank you. And that was the thing. If you have no problem with the heat and humidity for sleeping at night, go for it. For those 4 weeks, because I didn't stay the full 5 weeks. I gave up 4 weeks and 2 days into it. I couldn't hack it. I left on a bus on July 20th to Mexico City, and I was booked until July 24th. And I couldn't sleep at night. I tell you guys, it was crazy. But it was $10 a night if you can hack the heat. If you can hack the heat, and Jerry, nice guy, the guy that was taking care of the place, and it was on like 90th Street Playa del Carmen, like the area that is very famous in Playa del Carmen, like Fifth Avenue, the lower part of Fifth Avenue near the Plaza de los Fundadores, the main square, the founders' main square, where they have that monument like this. Finn Del Mundo maybe has seen it too. And everybody that has been there, where the ships take off to Cozumel, the big ferries and boats and whatever. Thank you, thank you. And that's like street one, street two, calle uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's where the big touristy area is, Hard Rock Cafe, and the restaurants and everything. And you got a McDonald's around there and whatever, and all this stuff where all the tourism is going on in the bars and the hostels and everything. That's Playa del Carmen. But that's from First Street all the way to like about 30th Street, all along Fifth Avenue. They call it La Quinta Avenida, Fifth Avenue, like New York. And it's pretty happening. Nightlife is awesome almost every night, especially Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And you see a lot of people from Europe. I saw a lot of people from Europe, Italians, Ukrainians, Turkish, Spaniards, French, from the States, from Canada, from South America, visiting Playa del Carmen. It's better, in my opinion, than Cancun, really. Better to visit. And everything is closer. If you want to party, if you want to just hang out at the restaurants and you go to a salsa restaurant where they play live music at night, Colombian salsa, especially, and Puerto Rican salsa live, and you can dance some salsa and some merengue probably too. Nice place. But bad time to go in June, July, and August, even May, and probably even September because the zargazo, the seaweed, is so heavy. It's crazy. We couldn't swim in the ocean. Best time to go to Cancun or even Puerto Vallarta or Tulum or Playa del Carmen along the Mayan Riviera or on the West Coast, Pacific Coast, basically, Pacific Ocean, the Nayarit Riviera, where you got Puerto Vallarta, where you got Sayulita, San Francisco, better known as San Pancho, and some other places, November, December, January, and February. Best time to visit. The weather is less intense. It's still warm and hot, but not sticky like crazy. More enjoyable. I recommend that. Colombia, if you go to Cartagena in Colombia, Santa Marta, Barranquilla, or San Andres Island, it's awesome, beautiful, and you get good deals, but it's always hot. But you never get seaweed, you never get sargazo, like that craziness you get in Mexico on both Rivieras or the Caribbean, Atlantic coast, or on the Pacific coast, ocean. You don't get that. You don't get that. Yeah, I was on the second floor. Wonder Boy, it was hotter up there. It was just crazy. It was hot as hell. Hot. And yeah, the romantic zone in Puerto Vallarta is very nice. I'm planning to go to some place here on the Colombian Caribbean coast in June for 9 days. I'm saving up money for it. Still be working and try to do and hopefully do some live streaming there and some pre-recorded videos. Oh, my tea got a little cold now. So Playa del Carmen, beautiful place. And guys, if you're in Mexico, you go to Playa del Carmen, Cancun, go to Chichen Itza, see the Mayan ruins there, the temples, the pyramids. Go to the Tulum ruins. Go to the ruins at Coba, COBA. Go to the cenotes. I went to these three archaeological sites, visited them. Were very nice. And the cenotes, there's one called Tancaja. It's an underground cave, water inside, beautiful. There's a video that I put up about that when I was in Mexico next year, like in September or in August. Hey, Atrades. Yes, I work online. I'm an English language teacher online because of the pandemic. Everything went online back in 2020, and I haven't gone back to teaching in person. I'm staying online because I love traveling, travel vlogging. For now, I'm staying in country here in Colombia for 2 years until December 2023. I'm staying here for 2 years in Colombia for reasons that I've already explained to some people, personal matters, family matters. And then I got to save up a lot of money too. And then I'm heading out to India, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh at the end of 2023 in December, all the way until 2024. I'm probably going to stay a full 12 months before coming back to Colombia. I love Colombia. I love Colombia. And I love India. And I want to explore more places. So I work online. Yes, at Trades. I'm an English language teacher. I've been a teacher for 23 years, teaching English to all ages. And that's it. That's how I was working in Mexico and keeping my budget going, keeping my expenses going, paying for my expenses, working online Monday through Friday with my private classes and some through an institute that I've worked with for many, 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 many years. And you guys saw the video where I had the relationship with that institute had ended, and that's life. And I got crazy contracts right now, a lot of private contracts with different company people privately, one on one. And I got a company now that hired me this year, and I'm teaching 3 different groups in that country, in that company, at different times from 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and making a good salary there too. So I got to do a lot of lesson planning, keep them happy, and I got to keep my voice in check so I can teach. I don't work, I don't make money. If I get paid per hour. Yeah, Cancun, the promenade, the walking promenade is fantastic. Yeah, there in Puerto Vallarta, the promenade in Puerto Vallarta is awesome. Even in Cancun, in Playa del Carmen, they're both awesome. And I love them both. I love them both. But I think I preferred the one in Puerto Vallarta simply because you have the ocean view right there. You see the ocean the whole time. You're going on the promenade in Puerto Vallarta, and it's less intense. The nightlife is very calm compared to the nightlife in in Puerto Vallarta, in Playa del Carmen. The nightlife in Playa del Carmen is crazy. It's very loud. So many places to party and all of that. And they got Coco Bongo in Playa del Carmen and the one in Cancun, the original one in Cancun. But in Puerto Vallarta, they have Mandala and some other one, La Vaquita, La Vaquita, the cow, the little cow. But if you want something more laid back, more a softer vibe, Puerto Vallarta. Let me tell you about next thing, Mexico City. Mexico City. The first place I went to was much better than the second place. The first place I stayed at was for 4 nights. It was in both places were in this neighborhood in Mexico City called doctors, doctores. Some people I saw gave reviews on YouTube or Airbnb saying it was a very shady neighborhood, and some people telling me that a lot of mechanic shops around there, auto shops, and that's true. And there are some places that are quite noisy there and some calm. The first place I stayed at, if you ever look for this guy, the host is Chewy, Chuy. That's the host's name. I just don't remember the name of the place I stayed at, but hosted by Chewy. That's his nickname. He has a name, but people call him Chewy. People with that name in Mexico, they call him Chewy, Chuy. And I like this place. It's called, I think it's the room with the hammock. Habitación con hamaca, room with a hammock. And the neighborhood was quiet, even though there are some mechanic shops up the street. I never heard any noise for the 4 nights I stayed there during the week. And I was doing my online work, teaching my classes at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., at noon, at 5 p.m., at 3 p.m., at 7 p.m. And it was quiet. And it was only like from the metro to take the metro in Mexico City, Austin Metro system in Mexico City, you only pay like 8 pesos per ride. You get the special card and you recharge it, reload it with money, and you never run out. And the train runs until like 11 p.m. at night or 11:30 on weekends, and then it opens up in the morning again, like around 7 p.m., 7 a.m. On Sundays at 7 a.m. And then during the work week, like at 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m., the metro opens up. I don't remember exactly. Look it up. So in Mexico City, the first place I stayed at, the night ran me $15 a night. And in Mexico City, you don't need an AC. You don't need an AC in Mexico City. It's never hot. It's not even that warm. It's more like spring weather in June, July, and August. But in December and January, it's quite cold because it's North America. So it's got some of the North American winter. No snow, but it is quite cold. But I've never been in Mexico City in winter. I was only there during July, August, and September in Mexico City. So I paid $15.50 a night for the first place, and the second place was more expensive than the first place. I paid $18 a night. The guy jacked it up more. Not worth it. I don't remember. It was in a little like a little condominium thing, but not a good condominium. They call it condominio, but it's not good. And it's also in Doctores. It was only 5 blocks away from the first place I stayed at, but that little neighborhood inside, like a little Chavo El Ocho neighborhood, very noisy. The neighbors, these young guys that were 22 years old, started blasting music around 11 in the morning. It's like they didn't have a life and didn't care about anybody else. And they would play music loudly until like 8 or 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. sometimes. And even the guy where I was staying with him, he was very noisy at night. Be careful with those things. Sometimes it's best not to pay for a whole month in advance because you don't get your money back. So I paid $18 a night for a week at that guy's place. Not a good experience. Then I go on from Mexico City. Mexico City is awesome. To get around Mexico City, even the buses again, uh, 10 pesos or 8 pesos to move around. And they got the electric buses. And then they got the other colectivos that go into Tepito and these other neighborhoods. You got the cable car lines, what they call cablebus. But the Mexico City metro system is so complete. It gets you to most of the popular places. And then in those neighborhoods like Roma Norte, Roma Sur, Condesa, Hipódromo, San Miguel de Chapultepec, Avenida Revolucion, Revolution Avenue, where the American Embassy is, and all of that. I really recommend you guys go there. Kev, what's up, Kev? I hadn't seen that there were more people coming on. Sorry, Kev, what's up, man? How you doing? Wow, cool. Yeah, Kev TV's in there. I was just distracted talking about my experience in Mexico City and the prices. Yeah, Playa del Carmen was very nice. I just couldn't enjoy it very well because I was so hot under the collar, couldn't sleep at night. Not at all. Yeah, Atrades, you can be a digital nomad. Just look for what you can do. Look for what you can do online and make good money. Yeah, Los Angeles, and where Karina lives, very cold right now, freezing. So, Kev, man, welcome. Today I didn't go out to do a live stream on the street. It's been raining a lot, everything. For those of you coming in right now or watching this later down the line this week or next week on Top Shelf Travel Network, which I'm on now, and whatever else, people are looking at me 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks. I didn't go out to do a live stream tonight because my throat has been under the weather here My voice has been going and coming, just my voice. And I'm drinking some tea for that because I got to take care of it so I can work on Monday again and teach my classes. So Mexico City is awesome. Mexico City is awesome. And I really recommend if you guys want to stay in good areas, Finn, you can attest to that. Kev TV, you can attest to that. Even Wonder Boy, I think you've been to Mexico City. Roma Norte. If you want the hip areas, very beautiful architecture, old school mansions and houses that still exist, and some of them are hotels or restaurants now, and some still belong to some rich families that didn't want to sell them. Roma Norte. It's in the heart of everything. Roma Sur, Navrarte, further down from Roma Sur, Condesa, Hipódromo, and San Miguel de Chapultepec. Those neighborhoods I was very familiar with because I stayed in Mexico City for 2.5 months, and almost every week I went walking. I walked those areas and I saw so many things. You can see some of the walking videos I did in Mexico City. Some I talked and some I didn't talk. Silent walking videos, no commentary. And you can see these different neighborhoods that I visited, except Navrarte. I didn't do one there. And wow, Mexico City is so awesome. I hope to go back one day. Thanks, Kev. I appreciate it. So Mexico City, $15 to $18 a night. And this was in July and August that you get these prices. I don't know about the rest of the year. Then I went from, oh, if you're in Mexico City, go up to Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, the pyramid of the moon and the pyramid of the sun. Beautiful ancient city, not the Aztecs. Not the Aztecs. The Aztecs didn't build it. They found it later on and inhabited part of it. When I was there, and then I did some research too. It is said that the Olmec people, an ancient civilization predating the Aztecs and the Toltecs, and they said the Olmec people built this city and then abandoned it for some reason, and then some other tribes or groups of people came in and inhabited it, and then left, and then some other people, and then the Aztecs. But Teotihuacan, about an hour and a half max by bus from Mexico City. If you take a bus from the North Bus Terminal, where Rob and I did it, Enigmatico. Remember Rob Mills, Enigmatico. He's on YouTube. He's a musician from England, and his channel name, I'm going to type it here in the thing, Enigmatico, and you will see him in some of the videos with me. And he has 2 music videos that he's put up already. 2 videos. Mexico that I helped him when I was with him in Hidalgo, in the state of Hidalgo. We went to what was the name of that town? Tula de Hidalgo, where they got these famous a pyramid at the top of the hill outside the town of Tula de Hidalgo. About 2 hours and a half, 2 hours out of Mexico City by bus from the North Bus Terminal. Rob and I went, but we couldn't go because it was closed, this archaeological site. And these things look similar to like the Pascua, Easter Island statues of people with the faces. These are similar. And they're there at the top of that hill in Tula de Hidalgo, and we couldn't go. It was not open. We were like, damn, I got to go back to Mexico down the line, maybe in 5 or 7 years from now. My other plans right now, go back to Asia, go back to India, where I was 3 years ago, and visit Nepal that I didn't get a chance to, and visit Pakistan, which is on my list now, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and visit South India, which I didn't get to visit. I was going to do in 2019, but I didn't do it. So that's the name of the channel, Rob Mills, Enigmatico. Yeah, $15 a night. You're asking if there are Muslim and Jewish communities in Medellin and Colombia? Yes, there are. There is a very small Muslim community in Bogota. I just don't remember where, and much smaller in Medellin. But they do have them a few because they come from the Middle East, and I think they're Muslim, but they're Middle Eastern for sure. And they have their businesses where they sell Persian rugs. They import and sell Persian rugs. They're in El Poblado, Medellin, El Poblado. That family, that business. I don't know if they're still running it or they sold it off. And there is a Jewish community. A lot of Jewish people came to Colombia during the Second World War, World War II, escaping Nazi Germany. and all of that, and all the German craziness with the Nazis during World War II, and they arrived in Barranquilla. They arrived through ship at those days, through boats, big ships, tankers, whatever, in Barranquilla and in Cartagena, but mostly Barranquilla and in Santa Marta back in the 1940s during the Second World War. And these were rich families and middle class families from Germany and Poland and other countries in Europe that they were Jewish. And after they arrived in Barranquilla and everything, some of these Jewish families didn't like that heat, hot, and humid Barranquilla, Cartagena, Santa Marta here in Colombia, and they came to Antioquia. They came specifically to Medellin, Envigado, and Rio Negro, Antioquia, to live here because the weather was very similar to that of the Bavarian mountains in Germany and other places in Europe, and it's always eternally spring here, eternal spring. Don't worry, Finn. I know sometimes the Wi-Fi messes up here too, so don't worry about it. It's all good. So there are some Jewish communities here, yes, and in Bogota. I don't know where else in the country, but yes, I've met some families that, and I remember my uncle's German language teacher. I met her, Leonor, not Eleanor, but Leonor without the E, not Eleanor, but Leonor. And I remember meeting her. She passed away already like 15 years ago, but she escaped the Holocaust, and I met her a few times. Thank you again, Karina. Wow, nice, cool super chat sticker, cool. And she escaped Nazi Germany. She was from Germany and from a rich family, and she escaped. But her family, most of her family didn't escape. Only like two or three people. She got out. She was a young girl. She was only like 20, 22 when she came to Colombia, and she was able to bring a lot of her wealth with her. And she used to give my uncle German classes, and I met her like 4 or 5 times. She was a nice German lady, and she left Colombia, and she lived here in Envigado. She preferred Envigado over Medellin because Envigado was like a small town. Everybody was close together, close knitted families and neighbors helping each other out, and all of that. And she lived here until she died. She never went back to Germany, from what I understand. But her family didn't get out of Germany. Most of her family, uh, fell to the clutches of the Nazi Germans in those days. So yeah, Mexico City is awesome. So Mexico City, south of Mexico City, Colombia. If you come to Colombia, travel costs here. Let's talk about food. Food in Mexico City. If you are in Mexico City, Karina, gracias. Blessings onto you. Blessings onto you. Um, Mexico City. I remember in Mexico City, if I wanted to eat a nice vegetarian dish, like a full meal at a restaurant, vegetarian restaurant, in the Doctores area, there's a place called Govinda Rams, and it's near the justice, the courts, the court area, the courtroom area, the courthouses, the courtrooms area where they have the judicial area for cases, and it's right there, and it's on this one avenue, Govinda Rams, and they were charging like 85 pesos for a smaller portion lunch, or for the full lunch, bigger portion, 100 pesos. 100 pesos is the equivalent of $5 US. Basically that, approximately $5 US. 85 Mexican pesos is like, what is it, like $4? Almost $4? Yeah. 80 pesos is $4. So it's like $4.25, something. So you're looking for, and then if you go to Centro, like Zocalo Plaza in Mexico City, Zocalo, like the most famous tourist attraction in all of Mexico City, I think, El Zocalo, where you got that big cathedral, the Metropolitan Cathedral that is sinking, and you got the palace, Palacio Nacional, the National Palace, where the president works out of, and the whole Zocalo. If you go there, I remember going to an Indian vegetarian restaurant called India Town, right there, half a block on 16 de Septiembre, September 16th Street, half a block in on that pedestrian street, going back towards Torre Latinoamericana, but not on Madero Street, but on the other one, 16th of September, 16 de Septiembre, 200 pesos for a full thali. vegetarian, big one with everything, with dessert. That's $10. But if you got the small tali, not the special, but the regular tali special, the regular tali is 150 pesos, $7.50. So Mexico City, you got those prices for food for a meal. But if you go even to Comida Corriente, like a good restaurant where they got the menu of the day in in Roma Norte or Roma Sur, and it's like about 130 pesos. 130 pesos is like about $6.50 for a full meal. You know, soup, your main dish with rice and beef or chicken, whatever they have that day on the daily menu, and some juice to drink. They call it agua in Mexico. Agua normally means water, but in Mexico, when you say agua, when they say we have pineapple agua. It's not pineapple water, it's pineapple juice that they make it with water. But that's the juice. They don't say jugo de piña. They don't say, like in Colombia, jugo. They say agua, agua. I remember at the beginning I was confused. Agua? No, no, I don't want water. I want juice. And there's no, see, agua de horchata or agua de mango. And then I got it after a few days. I meant mango juice. Vegetarian food for me is better in Mexico because Mexican dishes in general are are savior. They have a better taste with all the spices, the spicy stuff, the chipotle, the chili, and all of this, the habanero, and all the other spices they use in Mexico. I love a vegetarian pozole or vegetarian pozole or torta ahogada. Torta means sandwich in Mexico, not cake like in Colombia. I prefer vegetarian food in Mexico than in Colombia because you have all those classic dishes in Mexico at those vegetarian restaurants made vegetarian way without the meat. Delicious. Me. I prefer that. And they have so many good vegetarian restaurants in Mexico City, in Puerto Vallarta, in Cancun, in Playa del Carmen, these touristy areas, Guanajuato. There's one in Guanajuato called Guanajuatito Mi Amor, Guanajuatito Mi Amor, in Guanajuato City, the capital. And so you got those menus of the day in Mexico City or in Puerto Vallarta or Playa del Carmen. Playa del Carmen, they were more expensive. Playa del Carmen is really expensive. I remember that the menu of the day was like 180 pesos or 200 pesos for the menu of the day, vegetarian or non-vegetarian. That's $10. Why am I saying it's expensive? Because I make Colombian pesos. I don't make American dollars. I'm American. I'm an expat. I'm a Colombian American, born and raised in the U.S. of A, in the United States, born and raised there. But my salary, I'm paid in Colombian pesos because I work with Colombian students, people that have money here. I don't work, I don't live in the States. If I lived in the United States and I were teaching people private classes, but me living in the United States, I wouldn't be charging 12 or 15, I wouldn't be charging what I charge right now, $15 an hour for a class. I'll be charging $35 because expenses in the US in terms of rent, electricity, all the utility bills, your phone data, mobile phone data, and whatever, your car insurance, everything is much more expensive in the States than in Colombia. But I live in Colombia, so, and my clients are Colombian, my students, so I charge a Colombian wage per hour, not an American rate per hour, because I don't live in the States. So I only make like $1,200 a month. But really, in reality, it's more like $1,050 a month because 3 months of the year I don't work. 1 month because of Colombia has 18 holidays. 18 holidays in Colombia. Colombia is the country in the Americas with the most holidays. 18 holidays. There are 18 holidays in a year, meaning days off. Like for the 20th of July, which is Colombian Independence Day, or some other religious or public holiday. So those 18 days I don't work because they fall on Mondays usually, or sometimes on a Wednesday, once in a blue moon. But everything that falls on a Friday, Tuesday is always transferred to Monday. So we don't work, we don't get paid. And cancellations, and some people have a vacation. So that turns out to 1 month during my regular February to November work. And in December and January, I basically make no money because Colombians don't really want to have any more classes, whether they be French, music, math, German, English classes in December, because they want to enjoy December. December is probably the best time for you to visit Colombia. I don't know about Mexico, but Colombia is the best time because the festive Christmas spirit, and in Medellin or in Envigado or in Cali or Cartagena, with all the Christmas lights outside on the street and people also decorating their homes on the outside, the facades with Christmas lights, and it's like Christmas Wonderland here in Colombia, especially Medellin, Envigado, Rio Negro, Sabaneta, all of that, Copacabana. You got to come in December. So people don't want classes. So I have maybe 10% of my normal workload in December. And in January, 10% of my normal workload, 10% only. Because in January, people are broke. They spent all their money in December going on vacation to the States or to going on vacation to Santa Marta here in Colombia or San Andres Island to the beach or wherever, and presents and everything. And then in January, they're broke. They don't have money saved up and they're just waiting for their paychecks to come in so they can pay the credit cards off. And then they say, Teacher, Eddie, let's begin again in February. Let's begin classes again in February, middle of February, the last week of February. It's life as an English language teacher. Let me see the chat. Well, Kev, yeah, that'd be cool if you and Kev could meet up in person before Finn lives. Before Finn leaves for New Zealand. Kev, if you can fly down to Mexico City for a weekend or whatever, hang out with Finn. He's a great, awesome person. And Finn, Kev is pretty mellow, awesome person. You guys should hit it off and do a collaboration. Do both of you a collaboration for your channels with each other and talk and your impressions of Mexico and traveling through Mexico. And Kev lived in Mexico way back in the day during his first or second marriage and all that. Cool. So cool. Yeah, yeah. So what else can I tell you? Yeah, Colombia is awesome. So I was going to tell you, basically, if you're in these touristy areas like Playa del Carmen, Cancun, you're paying $10 for a meal, daily lunch special, not off the menu, just the daily lunch special that they offer. That they cook a lot of certain things and then they sell it till it runs out. Or if you order from the menu, that's more expensive normally. That's going to be more expensive off just ordering certain things off the menu, but you go for the daily lunch special. But in Medellin, if you go for the daily lunch special in El Poblado or Laureles at the restaurants there that offer the daily lunch specials, you're paying like 17,000 pesos or 18,000 pesos. That's like the average in El Poblado, which is very touristy. Manila neighborhood in Poblado or Jerez Park or Provenza area in Poblado, you're paying 18,000 pesos for the daily lunch special, whether it be a vegetarian restaurant or non-vegetarian. In many restaurants, they offer this because it's very touristy, a lot of traffic with tourism from national and international. And that's 4, 8, 12, 16. That's approximately $4, $5 max. And you get a good portion of soup, the main dish, juice, and even a little dessert. $4 to $5, always. Bogota is similar. I went to Bogota back in June for 2 days before I flew to Mexico, and similar prices. Bogota might be just a little more expensive because it's the capital of Colombia. Um, what else here? I went to Pátzcuaro. It cost me $12 a night. I stayed there for 7 nights. Pátzcuaro is a small pueblo mágico. Mexico has this tourism program that they put up back 20 years ago, that they started 21 years ago, about promoting tourism for certain towns in Mexico to bring more tourism, national, meaning low, domestic and international. And they came up with the concept of pueblos mágicos. If you don't know what it means, let me just type it up here in the chat. Pueblos mágicos, which basically literally translates to magic towns. Magic magic towns. They don't have magic. There's no magic flying out of them in terms of witchcraft or whatever, black magic or white magic or green magic or red magic or yellow magic or the rainbow colors of magic. It's just a term they used, pueblos mágicos. I visited a total of like 8 of pueblos mágicos in Mexico during my travel there. So Pátzcuaro is considered a pueblo mágico in the state of Michoacán. I've been hearing and reading a lot of comments lately in the last few months that Michoacán is pretty dangerous. Don't go to Michoacán. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I was in Morelia for just a few hours. You guys, a few of you saw the live stream I did in Morelia when I was going from Pátzcuaro to Querétaro, the city of Querétaro, in the state of Querétaro. And it was a nice town. The capital of Michoacán is Morelia. And Pátzcuaro is famous because it's got a beautiful historical center. Everything is kept historical. Finn Del Mundo was there in Pátzcuaro. Finn can tell you too that it's a beautiful town and everything. And you got the island of Janitzio, the movie Coco, the Disney movie, the animated movie Coco, and the other one, Dia de los Muertos. These animated movies by Disney, Pixel Labs, and whatever, they based their animated movie on that island. On that island is where they celebrate Dia de los Muertos very nicely every year, except for uh, 2 years ago, and I don't know about last year because I wasn't there. I was there about 2 weeks before they did it because then I went on to Guanajuato. I couldn't find a stay there for that time because everything was booked out on the island and in Pátzcuaro. But I recommend it. Beautiful place to visit, and you go to the island of Janitzio, which is on Pátzcuaro Lake. Pátzcuaro Lake is a big lake, and you got the town of Pátzcuaro too. I loved it. It was very nice for a week, but there were no vegetarian restaurants in Pátzcuaro, nothing. And things were a little more expensive than normal in Pátzcuaro. Querétaro, I paid $12 a night. I was in the next neighborhood from Centro Histórico in Querétaro, Santiago de Querétaro. It's a big place. It's a city that is very popular with expats from the States and Canada and snowbirds. They love to go to Querétaro, Santiago de Querétaro in Mexico there because Tangerine Travels, the YouTube travel vlog couple, but they're not together anymore. Tangerine Travels. Trying to write, but I can't write anything. Here we go. Oops, what happened here? Nope. Yeah, Tangerine Travels. You can check them out if you want to see videos on Querétaro and other places in Mexico. Tangerine Travels on YouTube. Check them out. Did I spell it right? No, not tangerine. That's my mistake. Not even with glasses can I see this right. Tangerine Travels. Got a little hot. That ginger's making me sweat like CNC Music Factory. So $12 a night I paid for Querétaro. I was one neighborhood away, and if I wanted to walk to the historical center, to the main part of the historical center in Querétaro, from the place where I was staying, which was 2 blocks off the highway, but it was a very nice little quiet neighborhood, nice room that I stayed in, independent from the main house. I just came into the garage with the garage door, had a key, and then a key to my room, my own private bathroom. I did not have a kitchen. I didn't have a fridge. That was only the negative side, but it was cheap, $12 a night. $12, yep, for 7 nights that I stayed there. And if I wanted to go walk into the historical center, it was like about a 20-minute walk, 20, 25 max. I like walking. If you don't like walking, then you just take the bus. Guanajuato. Then I went to Guanajuato. Querétaro is very nice. I really loved the historical center. I didn't get to go to any other place because I was only there and I was working Monday through Friday. And my budget was starting to go down because I had lost a lot of work in August and September, and I was there in October in Querétaro for a week. So I was watching my budget, shoestring budget, tying the shoestrings very tightly on. Then I went to Guanajuato for 3 weeks, and the night came out to $12 a night, and I was there in the historical center of Guanajuato City or Guanajuato capital. $12 a night. $12 a night. And I was only 4 blocks away. 1, two, three, 4 blocks away from the little square where you have the special theater, the special theater place that Finn Del Mundo talked about in one of his videos, and where they play all the música norteña and everything with those nice, elegant restaurants and those nice, luxurious boutique hotels they have there in Guanajuato capital. Beautiful alleyways. I have some videos that are came out last week, this week, and next week about these alleyway tours that I did in beautiful, picturesque alleyways based on Mediterranean, Middle Eastern architecture that was brought from there to Spain, and from Spain during that period of they built in Guanajuato. They designed that like that. Guanajuato Historical Center, very nice. $12 a night. Then I went, and it's beautiful. If you want to visit Guanajuato, the two best times I understand, I can verify one, which is, hey, Harry, what's up? Harry Cardo from Puerto Rico. My mom's, she's all right. Getting a little better here and there. Thanks for asking, Harry. Thanks for asking. She's getting a little better, but it's very complicated because of her health condition, her situation, because of her not taking care of herself well. Last year, for 6 months, she didn't inject herself the insulin she had to. She went off the insulin for 6 or 7 months, and from what I understand, that has a very negative, a very big adverse effect on the body health wise. So she's suffering the consequences now. And we have a nurse here that comes 6 days a week to keep her company and inject her and make sure she eats her food and takes her medicine, her medication, and takes her out for a walk here in the neighborhood because she can't go walking alone because she's weak and she can fall. So thanks for asking, Harry from Puerto Rico. Guanajuato, the two best times of the year are in October during the International Cervantine Festival because of Cervantes, Miguel de Cervantes, the author of Don Quixote de la Mancha, that book famous from Spain, Don Quixote de la Mancha. Miguel de Cervantes never went to Mexico. He never went to Guanajuato, but Guanajuato City, and Finn can talk about that if he's still on. If he knows about this city celebrates it for like every year now for like, I don't know how many years now, 40 years, 30 years, I don't know. Every year in October for 2 weeks, from October 14th or 15th to October 31st. And then from November 1st to November 7th is a week of celebration of Dia de los Muertos, this mix of los pueblos originarios, the people that have been there for thousands of years in Mexico, the different people with their way of honoring the dead on that night, in those nights, different nights. And then the mix with the Spanish culture that came with the Catholicism mixing into the local customs that had been there for thousands of years. And you have Dia de los Muertos. So November, from October 15th to November 7th is one of the best times of the year. And the other one I understand is during Holy Week, Semana Santa, the religious time, the Catholic religious time, Holy Week. And the weather was very nice during my time in Guanajuato. Temperatures were about 75 degrees, 73 degrees high in the daytime. The lows were around 55, 57, something to the effect. Very nice. Very nice people in general. Good food, good vegetarian options if you want that. Recommended. Highly recommended. Guanajuato. Then I went to Guadalajara for a week in the state of Jalisco. Guadalajara is the capital. And well, there's a lot to do in Guanajuato. You got the Mummy Museum in Guanajuato. You got the Santa Paula Cemetery to check it out. And the Mummy Museum is right behind it. Finn Del Mundo has a nice video on that. Check Finn Del Mundo's channel out and see his videos on Guanajuato and on the Mummy Museum, Museo de las Momias. And Guanajuato has a lot to do there. I loved it. Very artistic, very musical, very cultural place. Good restaurants, good boutique hotels, good hostels, good in Guanajuato. Guadalajara, I was there for a week. I was near the downtown area. I was one neighborhood away from downtown Guanajuato. So it took me like 15 minutes or 20 minutes maximum to walk to where you have the Cathedral of Guanajuato, the main cathedral, the bandstand or the gazebo, and the beautiful theater, El Teatro Desgollado. Beautiful. But at night, it's a cemetery. Even the locals there that I spoke to and everything in downtown told me, hey, man, you want to enjoy downtown Guanajuato, Guadalajara, the historical center, in the daytime until around 6:30 p.m. or 7. After that, it gets really lonely really fast and not safe. So just come in the daytime. And if you're in Guadalajara at nighttime or towards the late afternoon, you can go to the Pueblo Mágico. That's right there. You can take the metro or an Uber or a taxi to Tlaquepaque. Soon, I think it's in April, that the video that I did of this Pueblo Mágico magic town, Tlaquepaque, very beautiful. I was there in the daytime around 11 in the morning to about 2 p.m. It was awesome. And I can only imagine how it is at night on a Friday or Saturday there in the Guadalajara metropolitan area. Check it out. Check it out. Let me see. Um, Thanks for supporting the channel, for supporting everybody here. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it. All of you, Harry, Karina, Handsome Boy B, Wonder Boy, Finn Del Mundo, KevTV, Atrades, and other people that have been on before, like Bradley, and so many other people that I might forget the names right now. Charla Unplugged, Kimia Stewart, etc. So many people that have been on here and there. So many other people. I forget some names right now, so please forgive me. I'm a little tired. So Guadalajara has Tonalá is another magic town, Pueblo Mágico, that you should visit, but I didn't visit. I didn't have a chance because I was working Monday through Friday, and I only had that Sunday and Saturday to explore, and 2 days during the week to do a little exploration. And I went to the town of Tequila, the magic town of Tequila. Tequila! I don't drink, but I did uh, a live stream there, and I did a walking tour video where I didn't talk. And the people there, it's the only town that I think about in Mexico that has no open container law. You won't get arrested if you're drinking tequila or some drink out in alcoholic drink in public. Because in the rest of Mexico, you will if you're not in a restaurant or bar or outdoor restaurant that you're sitting right there. If you're walking around in Mexico, from what I understand, some people told me this, and if the police see you're drinking a beer or some kind of alcoholic drink and they see it, they can give you a summons in Mexico. It has happened. True statements from people that have told me this. And I was told that it's only in Tequila, the town of Tequila. Tequila is the original name of this town. And the liquor tequila, Jose Cuervo tequila, Don Julio tequila, whatever tequila, is named like that because of the town, not the other way around. It's because of the town that the liquor receives its name. And tequila is made from agave, and they got all these distilleries there. Jose Cuervo, like I told you, Don Julio, I was there, and I did a lot of exploration that day out of Guadalajara. So Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, very nice state to visit, very nice. I loved it. And in Jalisco, the state of Jalisco there, I took a bus from Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta. That was basically my last big stop in Mexico. I stayed there for 17 days, and it cost me $18 a night. That place, like in Guadalajara, I did not need an air conditioner. The room didn't have air conditioning, but in November that I was there in Guadalajara, no air conditioning necessary. You just needed a fan in the daytime or maybe at night, but it was always cool, never really hot, at least in November, Guadalajara city. And I went to Puerto Vallarta, and I think the bus trip took like 4 or 5 hours with some traffic and everything. So it's about a 4 or 5 hour bus trip. Bus trips in Mexico run around 600 pesos for long distances where they're like 5 hours or something like that, or 6 hours by bus. 600 Mexican pesos, which are about $30 US for these bus trips. The shorter trips, like when I was in Mexico City and we went to Teotihuacan, we bought it for, I think it was 400 pesos round trip, $20 round trip. We bought the tickets, Rob and I, when we went to Teotihuacan, or some of the places were like 100 pesos each way, like $5 each way, so it was $10. It depends on the distance. You're looking at bus trips when it's only like an hour and 20 minutes, like 100 pesos each way or 120 pesos each way. And if they're longer, there's like 200 pesos each way. And then if it's a real long trip, like we did 5 hours or more, then you're looking at 600 pesos. When I did Playa del Carmen to Mexico City, it cost me like 1,200 Mexican pesos. That was like about $60 or $50, something like that. It was expensive and long. And it had air conditioning, but never do a 25-hour bus trip anywhere in the world unless you've got a strong ass back and body. My body was beat. It took me 7 days to recover from that 25-hour bus trip. Never doing that again. Hell no. That was nice and sweet and ooh on my throat. Thank you. I will keep. There are a lot of videos coming out right now until like the first week of May. It's like 3 or 4 videos per week because I still have a lot of material from my trip in Mexico, plus video vlogs that I've made here in Colombia this year. This year so far in January, February. But I'm not putting up any more videos, just live streams. And then after these videos are gone and everything, then I'm going to be just doing one live stream per week as long as I can outside. But today I couldn't because of the weather. Weather did not allow it. Raining all day, night. No good, especially for my throat. And one pre-recorded video per week. I'm going to go to that format in May. But you will see a lot of videos still from Mexico, from my time in Mexico City, in Guanajuato, in Guadalajara area, in Puerto Vallarta, Sayulita, San Pancho, in the coming weeks, in the next 3 months max. And then at the end of May, they're basically all gone, and a couple in June, and that's it. But I'll be going to the one pre-recorded video per week format, and one live stream because it is tiring, and I got to give myself a break and focus on teaching and preparing my classes very well, and then saving a lot of money for that big trip 1 year in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Wow. I'm looking forward to that. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to be doing street food live streams, street food vlogs, walking tours in different areas, live streams here and there when I'm in India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, everything. Humberto, what's up? Humberto, ¿qué está, carnal? Parcero, way, órale, way. Humberto Contreras from Mexico, one of the big supporters to the channel, always watching videos, live streams, pre-recorded vlogs, leaving beautiful comments behind and good advice and tips too about places that I visited and that he has visited too. Thank you, Humberto, el mexicano, mexicanito, el paisano. Sí, no, todavía voy a estar un ratico más. I'll stay on for like 15 minutes more, and then I got to take care of my mom with some of her medication for the nighttime because she has to take some medication for her cramps. She's getting a lot of pain in the nervous system because of her have not taken having not taken good care of her insulin for 7 months until I came back and got her to go back to this again. And wow, Humberto, órale carnal. Yeah, in a minute I'll talk more about my trips to India, but I'm going to finish talking about Colombia and Mexico. And I think Colombia is cheaper to travel through than Mexico. This is the bottom line. Colombia is cheaper to travel through, to be a traveler here or on tourism than Mexico really is. You saw the prices I gave. Medellin is a beautiful city. If you stay in the good neighborhoods like Laureles, let me give this advice right now. If you're coming to Medellin or Envigado here in Colombia, which I can talk a lot about because I've been here in Colombia for 23 years total, 23 years. The other 27 because I'm almost 50. The other 25 years I've lived in the States where I was born and raised, Georgia, New York, and South Carolina, and Boston, Massachusetts and Rhode Island, but I don't remember those two places living there because I was a little kid. I was a toddler. I was a baby. But I remember South Carolina very well. I lived in South Carolina till I was 12, New York until I was 19, and in Georgia until I was 23, almost 24 years old. And I've been here for 23 years in Colombia. And then 2 years in New Jersey. I lived for 2 years in New Jersey. From when I was 37 to 39, I lived in New Jersey for 2 years. I went back to the States for 2 years. Didn't like the United States. That's just me. I love Colombia more. The life here, people are vibrant. You always see people on the street here in Envigado or in Medellin in the good neighborhoods. where people are more lively. But if you're in Poblado, where the rich people live in the upper middle class and whatever, after a certain hour, it's dead. But if you're in Laureles or in Los Colores neighborhood, Los Colores. Let me write it here so you guys can see it in the chat. Los Colores. These are the neighborhoods in Medellin. Los Colores. These are the neighborhoods I highly recommend you can stay and look for Airbnb places there. Los Belén, but Belén Parque, Belén Parque, or Belén Los Molinos, meaning the mall, the Mall of Molinos, Los Molinos Mall area there, El Poblado. These places in Medellin, El Poblado, like whatever you find in Poblado, like let's say like these little sectors in Poblado, like Manila, or uh, Provenza, or Patio Bonito. These neighborhoods are very good and safe to stay in. Very nice Airbnb locations. Castropol, Castropol, and Palmas. These areas are good. I recommend them highly. These neighborhoods, I can't even spell it right anymore. Neighborhoods. Wait a minute, there's even one more. Estadio. Let me give you a couple of more that are pretty good. Let me see. Estadio. Even Floresta has something good in it. Floresta, Santa Monica. These are some areas. Santa Monica, yeah, basically those. In Medellin, these are the ones I highly recommend. Highly recommend for travelers and tourists. It's not going to allow me to put the whole message in. I went overboard by a couple of characters. I highly recommend. Okay. There you go. Got that in. So those are the areas I expect. I recommend in Medellin. And Envigado, come to Envigado. Envigado is not Medellin. Envigado is a separate city, but it's right next to Medellin, right next to it. You wouldn't know the difference unless somebody told you so. And you catch the bus to Envigado, and all the neighborhoods basically are good in Envigado. Just stay away from San Rafael, not that nice, or Salado. Just stay near the park or down by Otra Parte, Fernando Gonzalez neighborhood. Otra Parte there, or Zúñiga, very nice area, or Frontera, or Loma El Esmeraldal, or Barrio Mesa, or, or Loma Escobedo, or Loma Las Brujas, or Cumbres, the school Cumbres area. Those are very nice areas to stay in. La Magnolia neighborhood, Magnolia neighborhood, and San Marcos, and El Portal near the Viva Envigado shopping center, the biggest shopping center in all of South America, according to some reports I read last year on the news. So Colombia is much cheaper to travel in, food, transportation wise. You catch a bus here, a bus to travel around. And that's similar to Mexico City or whatever, 50 cents. 50 cents for the bus ride from Envigado to Medellin, Envigado. But the metro system in in Medellin, that serves Envigado and Bello and Itagüí, is a very nice metro system. It only has two lines, but it also has these bus lines that are connected to them. And if you get a little special one-way ticket, what they call integrated ticket, and you need to take a little bus, it costs 2,500 pesos. That's a little bit more than 50 cents to ride the metro here. Not like $1.80 or $2.25 in New York. It's 50 cents. And taxis are pretty cheap in general compared to Mexico. Taxis here, you could get a taxi ride here from Poblado to here for about 13,000 pesos, which is about $3. And if it's a really long distance, maybe $6. Like a 30-minute taxi ride in the city might cost you $6. But if you're coming from the airport, from the Jose Maria Cordova Airport to Poblado, they charge like 100,000 pesos right now, which is about $30, give or take. About $30. Yeah, $30, $28 for a taxi ride from the airport to the El Poblado if you're staying in El Poblado Laureles. And that's about $30. That's about a 40-minute cab ride, 40 or 30-minute cab ride. But that's because it's coming from the airport, more expensive. So it's cheaper to travel in Colombia, to be a tourist here, a traveler. For Airbnb experiences, if you get a whole month, it's going to come out cheap. If you stay in Envigado for 1 month or Medellin. If you want something quieter, stay in Envigado. If you're something noisier and want to see more people, stay in Poblado. If you want something not as noisy as El Poblado, but not as quiet as Envigado, stay in Laureles or Stadium, Estadio area, or Los Colores. Always see a lot of nightlife, a lot of life in the daytime, all the time, all these things. And these are pretty safe areas in general, but still you run the risk of getting robbed. Don't give papaya. I got a video on the channel called No de Papaya in Colombia. Don't go to a restaurant, one of those outdoor restaurants or cafes where you got outdoor tables for the cafes, coffee shops, or restaurants, and don't put your phone on the table just like this and leave it unattended and looking like you're gone, daydreaming. Somebody can easily come, a young person or a homeless person, and snatch your phone off the table and run like hell, and you'll never see your phone again. So don't go leaving it on top of the table. Just keep it in your fanny pack or in your pocket. Or if you got a purse or your backpack, and keep your backpack to your front when you're riding the metro or the buses when they're crowded, because there are pickpockets here. Just like in India, just like in New York, just like in Europe, in England, there are pickpockets in Mexico, everywhere. Some places more than others. And if you're on the metro and you're carrying your backpack, your day pack, keep it to the front side because some people will open your zipper, you won't even know it, and take out your phone or your wallet and have a fanny pack. Put it to the front. Take care of your things. Keep them nicely and safe. And don't go showing people your smartphone or don't go wearing gold chains and a gold watch or Rolex or things that will attract people's attention. And I'm talking about thieves. Because in Colombia, there's this thing, and in Mexico, it happened to Finn Del Mundo. He was telling me the other day, but he can share his story if he wants to. But in Colombia, they got this that in some areas in Colombia, in Bogota, in Medellin, in Cartagena, maybe Barranquilla, Cali, there'll be two guys riding on a motorcycle. One guy's riding the motorbike and he's got the passenger. And then they're looking for victims and they see somebody going like this, talking on their phone, and they see that that person's got probably an iPhone or Samsung Galaxy S12, whatever is S11. And if they see that, then they'll come up on the motorcycle while you're walking on the sidewalk and you're like oblivious to it, and they'll snatch it out of your hand and ride off in the motorbike, and you can kiss it goodbye. Or if they see you're a foreigner and you're talking in English, blah 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 blah, they might just stop, and one of them might pull a gun on you and say, "Entregala toda." When they do this, just give everything up because you run the risk of getting shot or stabbed. It has happened to locals, people from Colombia, and it has happened to travelers from other countries. It has happened here. It has happened in New York, in India. I mean, I got robbed in New York when I was a teenager in Times Square. I remember in broad daylight by two dudes. And they came up to me and they saw I had a gold bracelet and a gold chain. And I was 13 years old or 14. And these two men that were like 25 or 30 years old, 35, came up to me. I'm not going to talk about what skin color they were because whatever I say might be misconstrued. But I got robbed at knife point and in New York City, in Manhattan, Times Square, back in the day when I was 14. It can happen in New York. It can happen in London. It can happen in Medellin. It's just a lot of negative news is coming out right now. I didn't feel safe. I got robbed in Medellin or in Santa Marta or in Cartagena, Bogota. I didn't feel safe. Men and women have been putting these videos up on YouTube, but they're not giving the whole story that they were probably attracting the wrong attention or going to an area they shouldn't have, or simply it was just their unlucky day and they got robbed. And that's it. So when you go to ATMs to withdraw money to a cash machine, don't do it at an ATM that's on the street where everybody can see what you're doing. Go to a shopping center like here in Medellin. Go to El Tesoro if you're staying in that area, or go to Santa Fe Mall, which is on Poblado Avenue, or to Oviedo Mall, and they have high security there, security guards everywhere. It's very difficult for people to get robbed inside. It's almost impossible because they're always on the lookout, the security guards, and they got the cameras making sure that their patrons are protected, feeling safe. So go withdraw your money at the mall, at one of the ATM machines that you can do it and nobody's watching to see if you're withdrawing a large amount of money and taking it out, because then they call another dude. If you go back onto the street, yeah, it's a girl, it's a guy coming out, blonde hair, yellow hair, red hair, green hair, blue hair, green shirt, brown jeans, whatever. And then they follow you. Bam, you get robbed. Don't do that. Just go to the malls where you can just look around, make sure nobody's behind you, nobody's looking around, and you just kind of cover it. And if you're with a friend, the other friend, whatever, and you take out the money, you put it quickly in your fanny pack, and you disappear. And make sure nobody's following you. But if somebody does follow you and tries to rob you, don't fight. Just give up the money. Let it go. Live to fight another day. Live to enjoy another day. It's cheap to travel in Colombia. It is. It's cheap to stay here, much cheaper than Mexico. Mexico is beautiful. But Mexico is a much richer country than Colombia in terms of economy, in terms of families with money. There are more people there, 120 million people there compared to 50 million in Colombia. And more people here have a better life than in Colombia. Colombia is a poor country. So it's cheaper to travel here. It's cheaper to take flights inside the country. You could get flights for as cheap as $30 one way from here than Bogota when you look for special deals. I loved Mexico. My time in Mexico was awesome. I loved all of it basically, except for the no AC in Playa del Carmen. And that was it. Oh man, Sayulita and Puerto Vallarta. Sayulita is heavy partying there. A lot of drug use. I saw people smoking marijuana. I could smell it all over the place in many areas on the beach, playing electro music, dancing to electronic music and whatever. In Sayulita, north of Puerto Vallarta, you take a bus. It costs like 50 pesos. 50 pesos is $2.50 one way. You catch it right there at the Walmart in the area where I was staying in Puerto Vallarta, right there where the big cruise ships, Norwegian cruise lines dock, and the other cruise lines when they're doing cruises from Los Angeles down through Mexico to the coast and everything, and going back to Los Angeles or whatever, or San Diego. And Sayulita was a crazy vibe. Not my kind of thing, very noisy. Some of you saw the live stream I did there about Sayulita back in November. But better than Sayulita, calmer vibe, very spiritual, good surfer waves, more family oriented. San Francisco, it's 20 minutes north of Sayulita by bus. And I remember I walked on the beach from Sayulita all the way to San Pancho, San Francisco, the beach, the town. Very nice place, good hostels. There'll be some videos coming out about that place in the next 2 or 3 months. Stay tuned or stay alert for them. So that's Colombia. For me, it's cheaper to travel in than Mexico, but I do recommend travel to Mexico, travel to Colombia. And don't believe all the hype that Mexico is very dangerous. Oh no, you're gonna get kidnapped, you're gonna get killed, all the drug cartels. No, I never once felt unsafe in Mexico. Not once. And I even went into Tepito, into the real Tepito in Mexico City. And I put up a video on December 1st of that experience there because I did it with my cell phone, but like this. And I was doing like this. Like if I were just texting and then I would bring it down because I couldn't do this because then they would know I was doing the video, and they have a lot of lookouts because there's a lot of money laundering, drug dealing, and other shenanigans going on in Tepito. But I did it like this, kind of showing a little while. And that's the only place that was a little dangerous for me, but I was relaxed. But Mexico was very safe in general. But there'll be places that you shouldn't go to in Mexico. Just make sure you talk to the locals. What areas, what neighborhoods should you stay away from in the towns or cities you are visiting in Mexico, because every city in the whole wide world that I know about has dangerous neighborhoods or areas, and you should be careful about them. Handsome B-boy, yeah, man, you're tired, bro. Take care. Enjoy the night with honey and all. So Colombia is great. And India, let me just tell you about India. So that's Colombia in the US, Colombia, Mexico. Colombia is very safe to travel in many areas. Cartagena is very safe to travel to by air, by bus. Barranquilla, Santa Marta, Bogota. You just got to be careful with the neighborhoods. In Bogota, near Plaza Bolivar, there's a neighborhood called Santa Fe. It is super dangerous. Prostitution, extreme drug use, extreme drug dealing, extreme, it's crazy. Very dangerous. And I passed through there in a taxi. I saw it myself. I remember I took a cab from where I was staying in Colferias at their hotel last year in June before flying out to Mexico. And I took a taxi to Plaza Bolivar, where the whole historical center is, and Santa Fe, and then Plaza Bolivar. And wow, dangerous for travelers. And some people have done YouTube travel vlogs there showing how crazy it is. Not me, I'm not interested. So just know where you go. I love Colombia, I love Mexico, but my heart is in Colombia. This is where I live, and my heart is also in India. But I don't plan to live in India anymore. I just want to go and travel every year to India from 2023 on. In December 2023, and every year, 2024, 2025, 2026, I plan to go to India for at least 3 or 4 months every year and visit other places around the world in general too. But I love India. But my heart is in Colombia and in India. But I don't think I'll be living in India unless something radically changes, and then I'll be living part time there and part time here in terms of living, having a home. But my home is here in Colombia, Oriente Antioqueño. India is beautiful. Guys, really do consider going to India. There's a couple, travel vlogging couple on YouTube. They're they're called uh, it's called I'm a Foodie. I'm a yeah I'm a, I can't even write it in here. It's Joy and Chad from Texas. I'm a foodie. What is it? I'm a foodie. Follow me, or follow me. I'm a foodie. Yeah, it's follow me. I'm a foodie. As their YouTube handle or channel, it's follow me. I'm a foodie. One way or the other. Follow me, follow me. I can't even write. I'm getting tired myself. On YouTube, follow me on YouTube, and they're in India doing awesome food vlogs because they're just foodies, food vlogs. And I love India. I was there in 2019. I was there for 48 days in North India. I was planning to visit South India, but I realized 2 weeks before I flew to India that I couldn't do the trip around India. So I just focused my time on North India. I was in Delhi, Mumbai, Varanasi, Bhubaneswar, Puri, Bodh Gaya, where Siddhartha Gautama reached enlightenment or had complete enlightenment, totally enlightened with his meditation. I was there at the Mahabodhi temple in Bodh Gaya. You take a train, if you want to go by train from Varanasi or from wherever in the country, to Gaya. And from Gaya, from the train, you could take an auto rickshaw or a taxi. They'll charge you maybe $8 or $10 for the taxi ride, and or something like that, or $12, 30 minutes from Gaya to Bodh Gaya. And I went to the Mahabodhi temple. A lot of Japanese people and Korean people there with temples for Buddhists, temples, Japanese and Korean and other countries. And I was in the Mahabodhi temple, and I went to the Bodhi tree, the descendant or the offspring of the original Bodhi tree, where Siddhartha Gautama reached enlightenment, was totally enlightened. And I was there meditating with the Buddhist monks. I remember it was so awesome under the tree and sitting among the Buddhist monks. India was awesome. And I stayed at an ashram guest house. If you ever go to Bodh Gaya, check them out on YouTube. I mean YouTube on Airbnb. Senamura Ashram Guest House. They're outside in a little village, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. They're on Airbnb. 20, 25 minutes walking distance from Bodh Gaya. And the people are so nice. The woman is Japanese, and her husband or her partner in life is Indian. He was a former Buddhist monk, but he gave up the Buddhism life, the monk life, to be with his Japanese love, and they started an orphanage, a school for orphans and for the poor people of the village that I visited, Bakrur village. Poor people and very humble, very sweet. I remember them saying hello to me. I was a very bad YouTuber at that time. No, I was not a YouTuber. I was never planning to become a YouTuber. I didn't even know you could become a YouTuber on YouTube. I thought you could just watch videos about music and about documentaries and old movies, and that was it. And I was just making videos with my other phone I had in those days for Instagram for my family. And when I started this channel, I put those video clips together, but the video quality, the stability is bad because I didn't have a gimbal, nothing of that. It was just my phone. And I made a video about Bodh Gaya. Check it out, the land of enlightenment on YouTube. And you'll see how those children are saying hello to me and people, hi, namaste, and I'm saying hi back to them and everything. Check it out. India's awesome. The food is awesome. Make sure when you go to India, do not drink tap water. Do not drink tap water. La agua de la canilla. Buy bottled water in India. Buy bottled water. Indian people in general are so nice, but you do have scammers. When you go to the touristy areas in India, like in Mexico, like you got scammers in Cancun at Mercado 28 or in Playa del Carmen. You got the scammers that will charge you a higher price for a tourism package, or they'll just steal your money and you think you bought a package tour, but they disappear and they really didn't have a business because sometimes you see the little tables outside, a little desk with a little chair, and they're sitting down the street right in front of somebody's business, and you think they're part of that business, but they're not. It happens in India too. And then they charge you $100 for a tour package, not in India, but in Mexico, or $50 for a tour package. And they receive your money and they give you this receipt. Oh, I'll be tomorrow here at this location. We'll pick you up. And the next day, you go to that location, nobody's there. And you say, hey, what happened? They left without us? And you see nobody. And then you go to the place where you bought it, and there's no table outside. They're gone the next day. And then you go inside to the shop and say, hey, excuse me, you guys sold me a package yesterday, whatever. They say, us? No, it wasn't us. We don't sell anything outside. Who? You got scammed, buddy. In India, similar things can happen. You can get scammed in Delhi, in Mumbai, in Rishikesh, in Jaipur, Udaipur, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mysore, wherever. So be careful with scammers. Be careful with scammers. India's beautiful. If you want to go get some, Delhi is awesome to visit. I just wasn't feeling right when I was in Delhi. I was there for 3 days, but I left after the second day. I couldn't stay the third night there. I went straight to Rishikesh. I caught my bus a day early. Rishikesh, the yoga capital of the world. I love this place. Really enjoyed it. Check it out, guys. It's really awesome. Really cool. Varanasi is awesome. Check that out too. I don't know if I lost my internet. Oh no. Maybe sometimes it shows nobody's on, but it's all good. I'm going longer than I should, but it's getting late for some people or very early still for some other people. India's awesome. Watch some of the videos to get an idea of what I had there, but the real good YouTubers right now that can show India very nicely. Um, Jacob Lakaitis from Lithuania. He hasn't been on YouTube like in a year almost. I don't know what happened to him. The Lithuanian young man, 26, 27 years old. Or Volpe, where are you? The videos he did in Kolkata and in Goa, the beautiful beaches of Goa and whatever. He did some really good, amazing work there. Volpe, where are you? Volpee. He's a Venezuelan American. He was born in Venezuela, left Venezuela when he was 5 years old. Um, and he was there for 5 months. He had to leave prematurely because of the pandemic when India closed down in March of 2020 in the whole world. He was there with his French wife, and he was in Calcutta and other places, and he made some great, awesome videos showing different things, different areas. It was nice. I like those videos he made there. Really do recommend you watch those he did there. or this other person, bald and bankrupt. Even though I didn't like something he did in Mexico, but that's beside the point. He has some bald and bankrupt. He has some really cool videos that he shows of life in India. But better than bald and bankrupt, Brad Lee. Good evening. Thanks a lot, Brad Lee. Better than bald and bankrupt is his friend. I don't know if they're still friends. The Norwegian guy, Harold. This is did an auto correct on me. Auto spell Harold. Harold. No, not with an O, with an A. That's how he spells it. Harold. Harold Balder. Balder. This guy, he's from Norway. He's on YouTube. On YouTube. Both are on YouTube. Both. Both are. Thanks a lot, Bradley. I really appreciate your support, everybody's support. I didn't do a live stream on the street tonight because my voice has been very funny since Monday and I need to keep it good for my classes, for my English language classes that I'm teaching online Monday through Friday. Both of these guys are on YouTube, and especially Harold Balder on YouTube. Thanks a lot, Bradley, from Biloxi, USA, Biloxi, Mississippi, USA. Thank you, Bradley. How are you doing this evening, Bradley? How's everything there in Biloxi? Down yonder. They used to call me Down Yonder. That was my nickname when I was a kid. When I moved from South Carolina to New York, I remember the kids around the way in the old neighborhood that I lived in, Irish American, with Peruvians and Ecuadorians and Colombians living there too, and Indian people and Pakistani people. But it was mostly Irish American, but still with a nice population, minorities of Indians, Colombians, Peruvians, Pakistani, Ecuadorians, and a few Italians that were still there. They used to call me Down Yonder. Hey, Down Yonder, where are you? What are you doing down yonder? So Harold Balder, the guy from Norway, I like his videos about India the best. And how could I ever forget the ever classic Gabriel Traveler? Gabriel is a whole different vibe. He's very mellow. He's not a crazy guy. He's not a party animal. You will never see him doing really raving videos or whatever. He's on YouTube, and he's been on YouTube since 2008, I think, or 2009 or 2010. A good 12, 13 years. And he's doing better now. He's doing really good now, but he's really calm. He's really very quiet in general. He's not, hey, what's up? Like me, hey, this is Traveling Ed. He's not, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Gabriel Traveler, and we're exploring. No, hey, guys, peace, what's up? How are you? Today we're in Munich, Germany, and we're going to explore some of these things. So he's pretty much like that, calm. He's not a spark plug, but he brings good content, shows a lot of good stuff. Gabriel Traveler has a lot of good stuff on India. India. And some awesome videos in Rishikesh. I chose to go to Rishikesh, India, only because of Gabriel Traveler. His real name is Gabriel Morris. He was born in Canada, but his parents are American, and his parents were living in Canada for like 2 years when he was born. And then when he was 6 months old, they moved back to the States into the San Francisco area, but outside. His parents are originally from Los Angeles, California. I was watching one of his vlogs back in December or January when he was in Venice Beach and everything, staying there for 2 days before traveling out to Europe. Or it was in January that he did this. And his family then moved back to California from Canada, and they moved to San Francisco, but out in the mountains, in the forest, in the woods. He was raised with his brother, and I don't know if he has other siblings, out in a cabin in the woods, in outside of the San Francisco area, the Bay Area. But he's been traveling since he was 18 years old. And this guy is the same age as me. He's older than me by 2 weeks. He was born in April, and I was born in May. And he's 49 years old. He's going to be 50 in April. And he's been traveling since he was 18. and doing all these things and a YouTuber since 2010 or 29, 2009 something. Bradley, thanks a lot again. Thanks a lot. So Gabriel Traveler has some pretty nice content videos on India. Like I said, he's pretty calm. He's not a wild ace like me, sometimes going crazy. Hey, whatever, jumping around like a jackrabbit, like a jack in the box. No, no, he's mellow, very mellow, mellow, like Pink Floyd. Breathe, breathe in the air. Love Pink Floyd, big time. Pink Floyd, The Doors, Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix, etc. And also Spanish music like salsa, merengue, vallenatos, classic pop in English, classic rock in Spanish. So many types of music, Hindu mantras, Indian music, Rajasthani music from the state of Rajasthan in India. These guys, Gabriel Travel, Harold Balder, Jacob Lakaitis. I recommend these three YouTubers in terms of the videos they have done in India. They have done India a lot of justice with good vlogs. Jacob, my voice is coming in and out, sorry. Lakaitis, something like this. Jacob Lakaitis, Lakaitis. He's from Lithuania, but I don't know what happened to him. He fell off the YouTube chart. He hasn't put up anything, posted up any videos or anything like in 9 or 10 months. And he was doing really well. This guy has like 600 and something thousand, 600 and something thousand subscribers. And he was had nice personality, nice young man, Lithuanian, from the main city in Lithuania, the capital. I forgot the name. I saw some of the videos of his main city, something with a V, the capital. I want to visit Lithuania just because of him, because he showed some very nice videos of Lithuania. Lithuania is on my bucket list because of you, Jacob Lakaitis. India. I'm looking forward to going back to India. Thank you, Bradley. You're a great. Oh, I finally solved. Yeah, I like back. In general, I like Bald and Bankrupt. I just two things I didn't like about it, but I'm not going to talk about those things because I'm not going to run anybody down in public. It was just personal things that I saw personally that didn't sit well with me, and I decided not to watch his videos anymore. But that's just my position. But he does have a lot of great content. He's funny. But there's two things I didn't like. But that's all I'm saying. Harold Balder, he's very clean in general. Nothing bad to say about Harold Balder. He had a great series of vlogs, pre-recorded videos he put up in January during his trek in Nepal, during the Lantang path trek all the way up. Beautiful place. He did it in the wintertime. Harold Balder in Nepal. Mm, I finally fixed the issue because the last verification step on YouTube after your channel has been monetized, accepted, and everything is that you have to verify your physical address. And I kept asking to have the pin resent because YouTube, Google AdSense sends through physical mail, physical postal mail from the US of A to other countries around the world, an envelope with a letter with your PIN number to go into your AdSense account, your private one, that's yours on YouTube, Google, where you get paid for it, where all that monetization comes in from donations, super chat stickers, and the ads that run on your channel, on your videos. And I needed to verify my physical address in Colombia. And I sent it out since November 19th. And they said they sent it out. And the first one never got here. The second one never got here. The third one that I asked for nothing. And I did a last ditch resort that YouTube offers, but they're very quiet about it. And I found it from this guy from Nigeria, Tech Informant. Nice guy. He talks about tech stuff. A Nigerian, African dude, African, Nigerian. And I met a very beautiful Nigerian family that I stayed with in Delhi from Nigeria, husband and wife with their two twin daughters that had been born in India. And they lived in a small little neighborhood in Delhi in a poor area, but magical alleyways and everything. And I stayed there through Airbnb. And very nice Nigerian family. I've met Nigerian people before, and they've all been so kind to me in the States and in Delhi, India. And then this guy, and I saw this video, and he said what I had to do because on March 19th was my deadline. If I didn't insert or type in the pin, my monetization was going to get canceled. And I worked so hard to get it, plus that stroke of luck with that earthquake video in Mexico City back in September that got me 40 something thousand views and 300 subscribers and everything, and a whole mess of watch time, accumulated watch time that I needed to get monetized. And I got monetized on November 1st while I was in Guanajuato. Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. Magical day for me. Dia de los Muertos. I was reborn. I was like, finally. So this guy said, you just got to go into your Google AdSense thing, copy and paste the publisher ID number that is specific to your account, copy and paste it into your thing here where you verify I did it. And I had to upload a scanned copy of my U.S. passport, my U.S. birth certificate, shows my mom and my dad's names on it. Had to upload my Colombian ID because I'm a citizen of Colombia. This is my second nationality. I have dual nationality, dual citizenship. I'm a Colombian national. I'm a foreign national here, Colombian. I was naturalized in Colombia when I was 24 years old. Hola, Monica. And I became a Colombian citizen when I was 24 years old, before my tourist visa ran out, because my parents are Colombian, and so I had to do all the paperwork, and I got that. So I had to upload these documents plus my mom's bill for the Wi-Fi and cable TV and phone line service with the physical address here. And I scanned that and uploaded those documents on Thursday. And then the AdSense team got back to me 10 minutes later saying, you have passed, no problem. Everything is verified. You don't have to worry about it. Mr. Edwin Toro, your channel is good to go. We will not take monetization away from you. You'll keep in your monetization. And I was happy. So monetization is staying and good things are here now. People like Bradley, Karina Garcia, Bradley, Wonder Boy, everybody supporting the channel in so many different ways with donations, super chat, stickers, watching the videos, and giving these things likes and sharing them with other people and whatnot, and leaving comments, recommendations, feedback. A couple of complaints are good too, in case I've done something wrong or said something out of line or that is incorrect, not a fact, but maybe something that was not accurate from my part, because I am living a human experience and I do make mistakes. I might give some information that is not true because I got confused with something else, but I avoid lying. I don't like that. Stay away from that. Yeah, I want to go to Karachi. So I'm going. Yeah, I had Paki friends when I was in New York City as a teenager. And then when I lived in New Jersey and as an adult for 2 more years, between my time in Colombia, I had Paki coworkers at Domino's Pizza in Roselle, New Jersey, when I worked in New Jersey for Domino's Pizza. And I had Paki coworkers, very friendly. It was Pakis and Indians, Hindustani and Pakis, and a couple of Colombians and me, and two Polish guys, three Polish dudes working there, and some people from Haiti. That was the work team there. And the Indians and the Pakistanis got on like brothers and sisters. We were friends. We were joking around with each other. They never hated each other. The Pakis and the Indians, they are brothers and sisters. They used to be one family, but got separated after World War II when the British, at that time, those idiots that were in control of the Indian government in India, decided to divide India into three countries: Bangladesh and Pakistan and India, and Bangladesh and Pakistan for the Muslims and India for the Hindus and Jains and whatever. It created a lot of division, but they still have love for each other. Oh, one more guy, the Kiwi from Australia, Carl Rock. He's married to an Indian woman, Carl Rock on YouTube. This guy has done a lot of videos in the past about scammers in India, but now he doesn't do that much anymore. He changed his content a lot, and he's in Pakistan right now. He's blacklisted by the Indian government. He'll tell the story soon enough because he's taking this to the Supreme Court in India with his wife because he was blacklisted when he left to Pakistan last year to do some traveling and vlogging. He found out that when he left, his visa in India was canceled, even though he's married to an Indian woman, and he's got his whole life in India. So Bradley, thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much again. Muchas gracias. Dhanyavad, bahut bahut dhanyavad in Hindi or merci beaucoup in French. I do speak some French. I studied for like 10 years when I was in high school and college in States. Je suis, je suis Colombie and américaine. J'aime le monde. I love the world. J'aime faire un voyage. I love taking a trip. Euh, je crois que Indie, c'est un des meilleurs pays de tout le monde. C'est mon petit and mes petites opinions. Some words I might forget in French, but anyhow. Thanks, Bradley. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. India is muy bacano. India is awesome. So Carl Rock is another YouTube travel vlogger that basically does a lot of videos on India because he lives in India. He lives in Delhi. He lives with his wife in his wife's parents' home. In India, the common custom is that when a man and a woman get married, the woman goes to live with the husband in the parents' home, in the husband parents' home, in the in-laws' home. They live together or sometime in the same building but on a different floor, like the same house, but they construct another floor for their own privacy, or in the same big house with their own room. I saw that when I was staying in Bhubaneswar with a family there. And Carl Rock, a lot of good videos. He's from New Zealand, but he loves India. He fell in love with India when he went there as an adult, and he fell in love with it so much he stayed in India. And he met his Indian wife there. They dated, they got married, and that's it. They live in India, but he's not in India right now. So, guys, it's India. It's beautiful. I'm going back. I'm dead set on returning to India in December 2023. I made a promise to my mother, and I'm going to say it one more time. I just don't want to get anybody tired anymore. Yeah, you said that already. You tell enough for the umpteenth time. Eddie, no more. Stop it. I made a promise to my mom that I would stay here with her, keeping her company in her home because she lives alone, even though her sister lives next door, her younger sister. But she lives alone and she's has fallen on ill times. And I made a promise, Mom, I'll stay with you until December of 2023. I'm not traveling anywhere. I'm going to stay here. And at the same time, I'm going to be just making videos about Medellin and Vigado, mountain biking videos, live streaming in small towns. And in June, I hope to take a vacation because my brother and his wife and children are flying here to be with our mother again. They came in December, my brother, his wife, and three children, meaning my two nieces and my nephew, came to see their grandmother and visited here Colombia for their second time in their lives. And they're coming back in June. And when they come for 2 weeks, 2 days later, I'm taking a flight. I'm saving up money for that. I'm taking a flight to the Caribbean coast. I'll give you that much information. I'm going to the Colombian Caribbean coast, but I'm not telling you where I'm going exactly, but I'm going to give you some options and you can explore other YouTube bloggers, travel vloggers. Cartagena, Barranquilla, Santa Marta, Rio Hacha, Coveñas, Tolu, Isla Fuerte, 6 places on the Caribbean coast. You got 6 options to choose one to guess which one I'm going to, but I'm not telling you which one. I'm going to one. I hope I have all the money saved up. I got good work going now this month of March, so I'm going to be saving for that. But the first thing I got to save for is I got to buy a new laptop. So I got to save the money for that. I'm going to buy my laptop in May. And then I got to pay my dad back some money in June that he lent me. And my trip, my 9-day trip to one Caribbean city in Colombia, Caribbean coastal city. And I'm going for 9 days. That's going to be the only trip I'm going to make between now and India because my brother and his family are coming so I can feel relieved and at ease that my brother's going to be here with our mother, keeping her company with the nurse, but the nurse doesn't stay here at night. And I'll fly off to a different location. But the rest of the time, I'm just here local, making videos here in the state of Antioquia. Medellin, Sabaneta, Envigado, Rio Negro, Guatapé, San Rafael, mountain biking videos. Soon you will see 2 mountain biking videos I made that I did 2 weeks ago with my friend when we were mountain biking, and you'll see them this month in March. the mountain biking videos. So different content, but it'll be nice and easy. But India is the big objective, dead set. Bottom line, December 23, 2023, December 2023, I'm flying out to India and I'm staying my hopes and still work online, teaching English, making my money, unless I'm a super popular, making $3,000 a month YouTuber. Unless that's happening, I'll still be working, making my normal money as an English language teacher online Monday through Friday. That's how I pay for my life, my bills, my credit card, my loans, and I help out here paying for the nurse and my mother's health insurance and for the stuff here with my brother and dad. And I'm going to stay in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka for 11 to 12 months, for a full year. And I will only be able to travel a lot from December to January 2023, 2024, January 2024. And then in February is when the heavy work comes back into gear. Then I'll be going from each city in India and Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Pakistan for a month in each place, because when you get 28 days, 4 weeks in each Airbnb place you get a big discount. And that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to be saving money left and right, keeping it very simple here in Colombia, spending no money, just on my bare essentials, my food. My dad and I, our mother's health care, health insurance, the nurse, the food, the bills here, because my mother is not a pensioner. She doesn't have a pension, but she does have her house. This house she got from her father as inheritance when he passed away back in the 80s. My grandfather was a wealthy man, left each of his children. He had 8 children or 10 children that were still alive, or 8 when he died, and he left each one of them a house. So this is our mother's house, and she got it. And so my brother and I are our mother's pension. My mother was a housewife her whole life. So that's why she doesn't have a U.S. pension. She only worked for like 8 years, not enough for the 10 points or 10 years for the U.S. Social Security. So my brother and I are our mother's pension, and we're happy to do it. So that's my live stream. It's been a long one, guys. I'm going to take care of my mother now. I got to give her something. You guys have been great. Bradley, everybody. Humberto, Karina, Humberto, Bradley, KevTV, Finn Del Mundo, Harry Cotto. Everybody has been on Atrades. Everybody, namaste, namaskar. Good night. Have a beautiful Saturday night, a beautiful weekend. And remember, when I don't go live on the street, I will try to do it just like this from home. And if I don't do it from home, it's because maybe I'm on a Saturday night and just doing something with the family, some kind of family event. So I'll try to keep as disciplined as I possible with Saturday night or Saturday late afternoon live streams. Take care. Have a good evening, good weekend. Until next time. Thank you, everybody. Gracias a todos. Dhanyavad. Merci beaucoup. Hasta la vista. And in Hindi, kal milenge or fir milenge. See you later. Fir milenge. Pir milenge. Thank you, everybody. KevTV, everybody. KevTV is a YouTuber. Check KevTV out. KevTV is a YouTuber. He goes a lot to Tijuana and straight out of Los Angeles, Koreatown. KevTV, I met KevTV in person twice in Mexico City and in Los Angeles. He was such a nice guy. He picked me up at the Greyhound bus terminal. We hung out, and he helped me with one of my dreams of visiting Venice Beach and Santa Monica Pier. Thank you, KevTV. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Chao, Karina. Cuídate mucho, Karina. Karina, la más linda del grupo del chat. Karina, la más linda. Karina, the most beautiful one out of the whole group. Physical beauty and spiritual beauty. She's got it all. Ciao.